Tom, you and I have talked about the story of Dunbar High School.
Yes.
The high school, you first wrote about it in 1974, all-black high school in Washington. I'm going to quote you now. As far back as 1899, Dunbar students came in first in citywide tests given in both black and white schools. I want to repeat that. The black kids at Dunbar came in first.
Oh, wait, that was an error. That was an error.
Oh, it was?
Yes, that was from reading what someone else had said.
Oh.
In later years, I did my own research. There were four, and they came in ahead of two of the free white schools.
Okay, all right. Thank you for correcting your own work. Over the 85-year span, 1870 to 1955, most of Dunbar's graduates went on to college, even though most Americans, white or black, in those years did not.
Yes.
All right. Then we get the Supreme Court decision in Brown requiring schools to be desegregated. Dunbar was all black. Mm-hmm. They're shifting all around in Washington, D.C. They move in some white kids. They take black kids from the local neighborhood. It had been that black kids from clear across town, if they wanted to go to Dunbar, could go. And Dunbar sinks. And now I want to quote you again because this is something that I've heard you comment on often. Quote, social pathology has held an enduring fascination for researchers, and nowhere more so than in the study of black Americans. Isolated successes receive occasional attention, but large-scale or institutional progress and excellence seem to be almost shunned. With all the voluminous outpourings on black educational pathology, there has been an almost total neglect of black educational successes.
Yes.
Why?
That is the question that I have not been able to solve, but which I hope someone in the younger generation will do that. There have been other schools. One that by the time I came along to do my research on Dunbar had already was no longer a school what it had been. But there was one black school that impressed me enormously. It was in New York City, and I was collecting data. And I went to the principal's office there to ask if he had any data on the test scores of the people in his school. And he said to me, yes, and I'll show it to you later, but you won't believe the data unless you see the students. And so this was in a regular ghetto school. In fact, I phoned a friend I knew in New York and told him I was in town and could we get together for lunch? And I said, I have a rented car, and I told him where I was. And he said, you sure are brave to park a car in that neighborhood. And he said brave, but I'm sure he meant foolhardy. But nevertheless, and the principal, instead of giving me the usual Potemkin Village tour, he said, we'll walk down this hallway on each of these floors, and you pick out whichever room you want to go into, and we'll come in there and sit for a while. And so that's what we did, and every floor in the building. And I came in, and this is just a typical ghetto school. All those kids spoke the King's English. All of them had very good answers to all the questions that were asked. And it was just as if it was some middle class or higher place. And I just 2 or 3 rooms on each floor, and it's all the same. And only after that did he turn the test results over to me. And this school was far superior to any of the other schools in its district, and it was by no means any better off socioeconomically than their neighborhood was certainly no better. But it could be done. That was half a century ago. Nobody that I know of has ever taken the slightest interest in that school.